You know, it was great actually. The Green Frog, I remember, was the name of the store, and when they approached the idea, I thought it was a great idea. But when you do something like that, the camera's rolling, they say action. You get one time to go out there and get it done, and it was great. It was great action, you know what I mean? And what's crazy about it, and to this day, this many years later, I never get one fan come up to me and say, man, Stone Cold beat you up in the grocery store. They always say, man, that was some really cool stuff, you and Stone Cold in the grocery store. Because we went out there and literally tried to do our best to make you guys say, man, that was really, really cool, you know what I mean? I want to watch WWE a whole lot more because of that. And how old are you now?
13.
You're 13 years old. You wasn't even born when we did that, just about, you know what I mean? You might have been, 1 year old or something like that, you know what I mean? But you're asking me that question lets me know that Stone Cold Steve Austin and I went out there and did something memorable that's going to last the test of time. I appreciate it.
The second question, what do you think's better now, the TNA or WWE?
Oh man, of course WWE. I mean, I'm commentating on Monday Night Raw. You better come check me out tomorrow night. But no, I mean, TNA's. I don't knock the product or anything like that. I love the direction that they had. Back in 2008, 2009 when I was there, the six-sided ring. Letting AJ Styles and Bobby Roode and, those guys go out there and tear it up, the X Division. I loved it, watching those guys go out there and do something different. Almost like, back in WCW, way before you was born, the Cruiserweight division, when, Rey Mysterio, before he was, a big superstar, he was tearing it up in WCW in the Cruiserweight division. And those guys went out there and did something special. And I think, I thought TNA had that same thing, when they had the X Division. Then they had the Knockouts Division that was just blowing it away and tearing it up. Those girls were going out there just having 5-star matches, every week, And then they lost that focus, but you never know. Hopefully they'll get it back. But right now, WWE is, number one. I think they're always going to be.
Thank you.
Hi, Booker. Really big fan. During WrestleMania 21, you guys did those commercials. You did the one with Eddie. How did they approach you, and what were you and Eddie's idea of it? Like, did you guys find it funny that you guys were going to do that?
Well, the parody from what movie? Samuel L. Jackson and Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Of course it was funny. You know what I mean? And Eddie and I, one thing that I could understand, if I could speak for Eddie, Eddie was my entertainer. He got the script, and he'd go, all right, let's go out here and do this. Let's make it, the best we possibly can to make it, funnier than anything anybody's going to, see with anybody else. And I'm the same way. Everybody got pretty stupid parodies that year, and it was just up to us to go out there and be stupid. And that's what I say, sometimes you can't question it, and sometimes you do question it. My thing is, my mother always told me, before she passed, that, if you're 100% about something, you speak up about it 100% of the time. If you're 99%, you keep your mouth shut. I was 99% on that, so you go with it. Have fun with it, and it's pretty cool.
Also, you were in the first ever Elimination Chamber. How was that like, not having anything to study like before going there?
I didn't need any study to know that I could get hurt with all that steel and chain, and it was graded in certain areas where if you just fall down, you was gonna get hurt. I talk about that kind of stuff all the time, you watch these young guys, now, Dean Ambrose comes to mind, he'll go out there, and like you say, I just don't care, man. It's just, he'll go out there and he'll lay it on the line, and, those kind of matches are made for guys like, Dean Ambrose to go out there and, display their talent, their high threshold, pain threshold, and go out there and show that this is not something that anyone can, just get up off of their sofa and think that they can go out there and do. I applaud those guys. I give them big props. You know what I mean? But those are the matches that can take years off your career if you don't go out there and know how to, manage your way through that elimination chamber. It's really, really tough out there.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Remember in 2012 when Samuel Woods, when the Boogeyman came out?
Say that. Speak a little louder there.
In 2012 when the Samuel Woods came out, when you were doing the best man moment, where
You gotta speak a little louder. Put that microphone like this there, like The Rock do it. There you go.
in 2012 the Samuel Woods,
Flammies.
when the Boogeyman came out, where you like freaked out, and you know what to do?
I hate the boogeyman. I hate him. You know what I mean? No, I'm just playing. I don't hate anybody. No, but the boogeyman, he's a different kind of character. I've had my moments with the boogeyman as well as my wife. I hate to put her in that position. I actually have to go out there and be a part of that. I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay.
All right, no, I mean, the boogeyman has his job, you know what I mean? I'm not afraid of him or anything like that. I don't want to, work with the boogeyman a whole lot. I actually have to go out there and wrestle with the boogeyman, but he's an okay guy. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, I'm happy that you came around, and I'm a big fan for the last 15 years. Member of the WWE Network, $9.99 a month.
Boom, 999.
$9.99. One thing I've noticed is that like around 10 years ago, there was more of a storyline, and everybody was fighting for to be on the show. Now it feels stale and more focused on mostly John Cena. What's your opinion on that?
I just said it a minute ago, it's evolution more than anything. It's time that's passed and changed more than anything. And I say that because, just say for instance, you look back 20 years ago. We'll go back 20 years. Let's go back 15 years. When I first came into WWE, 2000, there was enough guys, superstars, to fill Raw and SmackDown. It was two different brands. That's how many superstars you had on that roster. Now, those superstars are 50 years old like me. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that now we're just in a different creation mode of, trying to create the wrestler that's going to, wrestle at WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania 45. I think that's what we're working towards now, is building the stars of the future to actually create more ongoing and longer storylines. It's just a different time, I think, more than anything. And if you look at it that way, you can kind of, weigh it a little bit different, opposed to just looking at it only being, John Cena. It's all about John Cena, you know what I mean? Like I say, until, if John Cena goes away, we're going to be a less one superstar at this point in time, if he can go out there and perform like he's been performing. I don't think anybody can question John Cena as far as him going out there and phoning it in, mailing it in, not going out there putting in 100% every night. And that's in the ring as well as out of the ring. John Cena's the hardest. I gotta get, and you guys may not know this, but John Cena is the hardest working superstar in the WWE by far. And that's in the ring and as well as out of the ring. And I give him a lot of credit. You need to really do a little bit of more research on him, and you might like him a little bit more.
I respect John Cena as an athlete, not much in the story, but when you heard the story about the fact that after surgery he went straight to work, were you shocked about that? Were you thinking that he was like a little crazy, maybe he should have rested?
No, I'm not. That's what I say. That's what I mean. Some guys will sit it out, but for the last 10 years, John Cena has not, if he's missed Raw, it's because it's been a certain reason, and that's commended, because when you don't see guys in this business, they're not taking a vacation, they're injured, they're hurt, something, it's not right, you know what I mean? So I give a guy like John Cena a lot of credit for being able to weather that storm, tireless hours, overseas tours. I just met a kid today at lunch at the Macaroni Grill. He was in a wheelchair, and today he was going to have his Make-A-Wish, and it was with John Cena. So I give that guy so much credit. You know, it's unspeakable how much, you know, he really does for the business and for people like that. Yeah.
Okay, one last thing. Who do you think should be up on the Royal Rumble to be the winner and heading to WrestleMania? And who do you think should be in the Hall of Fame now?
Man, Hall of Fame, you know, I'll put in a vouch, you know, for Stevie Ray, my brother. You know, I think Harlem Heat deserves a, you know, a nomination. But it's funny. You know, we're a pretty good tag team, you know. But as far as guy who should, you know, who I feel like could step up, you know, and at the Royal Rumble and head to WrestleMania. The guy that I perhaps would like to see. Oh man, I like to. I think I'd pay to see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I mean, I think that would be a pretty good matchup. I think anybody would want to see that. You know, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, one-on-one. You know, at WrestleMania. See exactly if the beast incarnate can actually be controlled. I don't think so. I don't think we have anybody on the roster right now that can handle Brock Lesnar or stop the machine that he's on right now. So I would love to see it, though. It would be a good fight.
Thank you.
All right.
Once again, what are your thoughts of the streak being over? That being Undertaker?
Oh, man. You know, the streak was, you know, something that was, you know, it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Was it planned?
You know, I don't know about doing it. I'm not working in the office or anything like that. But I can tell you this, you know, if anybody, you know, could have done it or should have done it, the right person did. I don't think we could have gotten any more shock value than we could have gotten with Brock Lesnar, you know, pin the Undertaker at WrestleMania. You see the footage of some of the people, you know, they're in shocked and in awe, you know, say, wow, it finally happened, you know. But, you know, one thing about records, you know, all records are meant to be broken, you know, in every sport. You know, the Undertaker has had a hell of a run. I don't think his streak of someone else coming along and ever doing that ever again, I don't think will ever be done. You know, so I think his legacy is fully intact. And, you know, also, that's what the business is about. Really passing it on and passing the torch to the next guy so the next guy can run with it and keep the business alive so, you know, you guys can keep watching it and loving, you know, the sport that we do called professional wrestling.
And reality of wrestling, how has that been for you? How has, what made you get started on that? What made you want to grow? I'm glad that you guys are doing cities now, different cities.
Yeah. Reality of Wrestling, my wrestling company. You guys can check it out at realityofwrestling.com. It started a long time ago, actually, when I was first getting into wrestling. You know, a lot of guys had wrestling schools, and they, you know, a lot of crappy schools. And I said, you know, and if I make it one day I'm going to open my own wrestling school to change all this, you know. So 10 years ago, we opened our wrestling school, and man, it just branched off from there. You know, we started doing shows, and then we created Reality of Wrestling to actually let young people like yourself get a chance to see what it's really like to actually go out there and be a part of something, a show, a real show more than anything, to be part of a camaraderie, to have brothers, to have a team, to be able to go out here and do this thing with as well. And that's what we've created. We have about 30 wrestlers. We have about 50 students in our school. You know, we do this thing on a monthly, weekly.
Bring the school down here.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. We branch out.
We have plenty of wrestlers down here.
Well, that's what you know what? This would have been a great setting to actually bring the reality of wrestling.
You have
to actually,
luchador wrestling.
hey, we got a couple of them too, you know. So, but it's just about keeping the business alive, keeping it going, and actually training you guys the proper way and giving you guys a proper end to the business. Because I say, only thing I can really do is give you a half of a chance at making it. The rest is going to be up to you. And so that's what we provide. You know, we got a full. Workout facility in our gym. We got 2 wrestling rings. Like I said, you can go to realityofwrestling.com, get some information on it. We do a thing called Fantasy Camp once every other month. And, it's a 5-hour day. Come and be a part of it and see if it's something that you may want to be a part of.
And for your wife, I know I asked him for a dream match. If you were to get in the match with someone, who would you like to be in the ring with? It doesn't have to be a girl.
Yeah, because I did have to fight Kurt Angle once. Let me say this. No, but I think that if I had a dream match, it would be with Michelle McCool. I think because I respect her so much inside and outside of the ring. So I think it would be a good matchup to see how you handle getting in there with a real friend of yours, you know? So,
plus, I know they want to see your back.
And for your children, do you ever see them growing up to be in wrestling?
No, doctors, lawyers, something like that. You know what I mean? Where they,
future owners of Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, future owners of the business. But not in the business. You know what I mean? I've taken enough bumps and bruises for them to actually, do something else. Education is key. I tell all young people, even if you aspire to be a professional wrestler, you have a chance to get that education, get it first, because this is something that's gonna be there. Getting that education is something that you can't skip on, and I talk about that in my book. I wish I'd have brought some here, but I ran out of them. But you can go to online on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. It's called Booker T, From Prison to Promise: Life Before the Square Circle, and it tells my life story about little bitty things like that.